You're listening to the Collected Podcast, bringing you inspiration and resources to help you discover and live from your truest self. Follow along on social media at Collected Workshops, and be sure to visit thecollectedpodcast.com for show notes and to learn more. The Collected Podcast is brought to you by the Gebhardt Schleip Group at Baird Financial, delivering personalized financial advice that helps clients reach their long-term goals. Visit gebhardtschleipgroup.com or see our show notes for links and to learn more.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Collected Podcast, Episode 1. I'm Michaela Hooper.
I'm Tia McNelly.
And I'm Jess Biondo.
We are super pumped to be back with you guys after our 6-week break. Happy Thanksgiving!
Yay!
We are grateful for you. We are so grateful that you have come back to hear more. We're back. We're walking into the holidays, excited for what the Lord is doing. And today we have a very, very special guest for you. She happens to be my bestie, a sister. I swear you could test our blood and we've got the same DNA. We're that tight. We're so tight. And we've been friends since nursing school. You'll hear that story. But Krista Blalock is the president and co-founder of Flourish Kenya. And that organization prevents and supports unplanned adolescent pregnancy in rural Kenya. Mm-hmm. And that rolls off my tongue because I'm the vice president of the board of directors for Flourish Kenya. And so I am so excited to share the story of Flourish through Krista today with our audience. Mm-hmm. Flourish Kenya is our charitable partner that we've been partnered with from day one. Part of Collected's purpose as an organization, as a ministry is to be able to support Flourish Kenya. So, but first, Krista's got an amazing story.
So enjoy our interview with Krista Blalock.
Krista, welcome. We're so glad that you're here.
Hi, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that you're here. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really happy to finally have you on the show. Why don't we start off by just telling our listeners like what your life is like right now? Like what's your family like?
So we have a typical, probably crazy family.
Probably crazy.
Yeah. Well, it is crazy. Probably very typical. Mm-hmm. We have 2 little ones at home right now. Selah is 6 and Seth is 4. But we're blended. So when my husband and I got married, I had a 13-year-old who is now 21.
It's crazy.
I know, and living on his own. And then my husband also had a son who was about 12, and he is now 20 and is out on his own and working as well.
Wow.
So we went from 2 when we got married, had the 2 little ones together, and had 4 of them, and now we're back down to 2.
It's kind of a crazy ride.
Crazy ride.
Yeah.
We've been through the whole teenage thing, and then started over with babies and going through the toddler and now elementary school all over again.
Good times.
So I wouldn't say that I recommend it. Recommend that spread. We love them all very much, but it is. It's been crazy to go through these seasons again in different phases of life. Mm-hmm. Of
how
course,
old are you?
I will be 40 very soon. When this episode comes out, I will be just a couple weeks away from my 40th birthday.
It's wild.
Yes.
So if you do the math, she has a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
So maybe take us back to kind of how you got to this point when you got married. Like, what was your childhood like, your young adult life? Catch us up to speed.
So when I was born to a single mom who was 17. And for most of my life growing up, from what I remember, we lived with my mom's parents most of the time, off and on. When I was about 13 or so, my mom got remarried, and we moved in with my stepdad. I grew up in Florida, in kind of central Florida, in between Orlando and Daytona Beach. So Disney kid, beach kid. And, you know, I had everything I needed. I know that my mom and my stepdad really struggled financially. But I had all the material things I needed.
Yeah.
I think they went above and beyond to always make sure I had. My grandparents really spoiled me. There wasn't ever really a lack of love, I would say. A loving home. But there was some dark secrets in our house. My mom and my stepdad both struggled with alcoholism. So I grew up in that, which was very hard. It kind of forced me to become very grown up very, very quickly. And I think processing now and knowing, looking back, even though I did have that love and was provided for, of course, left emptiness, that as a teenage girl, I didn't know was there, and left me searching for that love in other places. So when I was in high school and had a high school sweetheart, I got pregnant right before I graduated high school, and then became a teen mom as well. And I did marry my high school sweetheart, my son's dad. We were married for, I don't know, I think we made it about a year before that didn't turn out. And was not a very nice divorce. We ended up having to, I was still in Florida at that time, and we ended up having to leave Florida to get away from that situation and for my son to be kind of in a safer environment.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to heal and grow.
Right.
And I was not a believer at that time. And my family we were you go to church, well, really my grandparents, we took me to church on Christmas Eve and on Easter. But I didn't have any concept of God or anything like that. So we moved up to North Carolina after that divorce, and my mom and my stepdad ended up getting a divorce also. So my mom followed us. She's kind of followed us everywhere. She has since recovered from her alcoholism, has found the Lord, and is incredible. So we came up to North Carolina. I went to nursing school with the support of my family. Lived with my grandparents again. Was able to complete nursing school as a single mom and working. And that's where I met Tia.
That's right.
I guess
2003?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah.
We were both single moms doing the nursing school thing and working in the evenings and at night. So after that, I moved back to Florida briefly for a relationship.
Still didn't know the Lord, right?
Still didn't know the Lord. Moved back to Florida for a relationship. My mom followed me. That didn't last very long either. And then came back to North Carolina and settled here.
And what was your kind of your faith journey? Like how did you meet the Lord?
So I really, I ran from him for a very long time, and I mean, hardcore rejected any thoughts of God.
I remember that very well.
Yeah. Tia was, a believer when we met, and we connected over being single moms and being in nursing school, and we were just drawn to each other. And even me being so against any idea of Jesus, for whatever reason, I didn't really have a good reason. I'm a 6 on the Enneagram. And so I can really, push against any type of authority. And I had this religious view in my mind. And I guess that was the authority I was pushing against at the time. And so, but Tia and I were great friends. And, she would tolerate me calling her my hippie Jesus freak friend. And all of my shenanigans. So we remained friends. And when I started my career as an ICU nurse here in Charlotte, God surrounded me with some really amazing Christian women that really showed me that relationship. And I was always drawn to it, despite, being against believing in him. And they just always loved me right where I was at. And it was just incredible. And so the deeper and further I tried to get away from him, the more he placed these ladies in my life. And I just got further into a situation where I needed him, and he called me, and I finally surrendered to it. And those ladies were right there for me and ready and waiting, and ushered me in with open arms. And very quickly.
You were kind of on fast forward when you came to the Lord.
Very much.
Yeah. It was almost like you got this massive download and understanding of who God is and what that meant for your life as a disciple, like really fast.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I went from baby to mature very quickly.
We are so excited to have David Gebhardt here with us today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, David is part of the Gebhardt Sleep Group with Baird Financial Advisors, and that is a privately owned and employee-owned company. And we're so pleased to have you as our season 2 sponsor.
So
it is
excited.
amazing. Thank you so much for believing in us, and we cannot wait to promote the heck out of your company because we believe in what you're doing.
David, can you tell our listeners a little bit about what you do and the heart behind it?
Well, Jess, since we've been talking and I've listened to a bunch of your podcasts and know everything about now artists and producers, thank you, Jacob, motorcycle artists, everything, Enneagrams.
Yes.
You ladies are just so passionate about people. And in my line of work, what I can do is close that gap between what makes money stressful and dysfunctional to making it the incredibly powerful tool that it is.
Love that.
And it's a tragedy, really, to see when somebody they got this passion and you can see clearly God is speaking to them. And if that is only cut down by what the enemy can use to make them realize that, you don't have the funds to do it, or you're sitting on this, pile of money after you've been working so hard, and to see that not come together, that is what drives me.
So do you feel like it's a lack of knowledge, or so what keeps people from reaching out for help and getting that knowledge, if that's what it is?
It's just simply asking the question.
Yeah.
The enemy uses money in a very subtle way. And typically what I've seen is when most people have a lot of money, it's pretty obvious when you're in debt and you're struggling to get out, you need help, but to get to somebody before that point, that's the key. It's just simply asking the question. Just asking the question. And what I'm so excited about this sponsorship because we're going to give people the chance to engage.
Yes.
To really get them thinking about maybe things that they've never thought of before, that it's not just about going through climbing the corporate ladder, what they can do with money to create a legacy. To get recalibrated how they see money, how they view money. And all of a sudden, it's not going to be so stressful anymore. It's actually going to be looked at as this incredibly powerful tool that God gives us. He gives us a limited amount of time and resources. Money is one of those resources.
It's beautiful.
And myself and my group of advisors I work with, we are there to close that gap.
I love that. So how does one begin to close the gap? How do they ask the questions?
Just what we're going to do in every episode, I'm going to bring up a relevant topic, either to the season or the speaker, and pay attention, listen. You guys are going to be able to bring things down to a level where we're not going to use any financial terminology. It's not going to be confusing. We're going to take what is super confusing and a super big demand on our time, and we're going to give people a way to get actionable, to engage, and to really just get information.
Love
because
that.
Yeah.
everybody is super intelligent and smart, and we put a ton of time into health and fitness and making sure our kids go to the schools and set themselves up for the perfect career. But if we don't close that gap on asking that question about money,
Yeah.
then that's where the enemy can work his way in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And-
folks, you've got easy access right now. You can click the link in the show notes to access the Gebhardt Sleep group
Yep.
and ask your questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take action today. Do not let the enemy steal from you what God has given you for his purposes. Thank you so much for coming and spending a few
Thank
minutes
you
with us,
guys.
David.
Yeah.
This is
so
awesome.
excited. It's going
Yes.
to be an exciting season.
Since you made that decision and gave God your yes, what surprising doors has he opened? Because I know you're not a nurse in the traditional sense anymore.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
Well, so that has been actually with my 40th birthday is also my 10-year baptism anniversary.
That's right.
So it's such a sweet season. So in those 10 years, it's just been incredible. About a year after that, Tia had started traveling with her family's organization to Kenya, the Kilgore's Project. And after her first trip, showing me pictures and telling me stories as a nurse, seeing the lack of health care, I just had to go with her. And that's how I got started going to Kenya as a nurse and just going and seeing what I could do. And I had zero concept of any other world. Mm-hmm. And even that first year as a Christian, I totally went into a little Christian bubble and was going to camp there. And God very quickly burst that and showed me the other world and other people, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got started in Kenya, and I was hooked immediately, and have camped out there ever since. And so that door was opened, and I started then volunteering for that organization, and then working for them part-time, while I was able to do that and still work some as a nurse in the hospital. And that led to Flourish Kenya.
So what is Flourish Kenya?
Do tell.
Yeah, so through our work with the Kilgore's Project, when we were working in the rural schools of Kilgore's, part of my job as a nurse was sanitation. So anything to do with clean water and menstruation with the girls. And the more that we tried to find those resources, the more we couldn't. And when we started to get into the problems with menstruation, girls will miss school for a whole week, a month, because they don't have any access to supplies. And trying to educate those girls and get them supplies was so difficult for us. And researching any of those avenues was impossible. Not the research, but just gaining access to any of that. And so that really opened our eyes to other things that were happening with girls, like early marriage, genital cutting, and teen pregnancy came up. And the Lord really started to show me that all the teen girls, like how big of a problem it was. And when we first noticed what was happening, or our eyes were open to it, it was about a 30% teen pregnancy rate of girls between the ages of 10 and 19 in this area. So that was shocking enough. So over time, we're trying to find things that we can do for the girls in the school. They were a little young at that point to start talking about those things. But we were doing little things here and there that we could and providing pads for them. Over a few years, my family got called away from working with that organization, and it was devastating for us. We didn't really know why, but we stepped away. And not long after that, the Lord started talking again and saying, you're not done there. You're going back to Kenya. And the more we prayed about what he meant, he started to really speak about my story and my teen pregnancy and revealing more of these girls in this issue. And what struck me the most was I had had an unplanned teen pregnancy, just like these girls, but yet my future turned out a whole lot different. When these girls get pregnant in this rural area of Kenya, they're forced out of school. They're not allowed to stay in school by law, which has recently changed, but at that point it was still the law. A lot of them are kicked out of their family home. Mm-hmm. They live in poverty, a lot of them below the poverty line of $2 a day. And so the families just don't know what to do with an extra mouth to feed, and there's just no resources. So that forces them to either seek an unsafe abortion, where a lot of them die from complications or get septic, and or force them onto the streets into prostitution or trafficking. They're sold off. If their families find out and, will keep them, then they sell them off to an older man. It is a polygamous culture. So they maybe are the second or third wife. So those girls that are getting pregnant at the same age I did face a lot different future than what I had. I was able to complete nursing school with the support of my family. I went on and married an incredible man and have more children. And so I wasn't okay with that. And, I feel like God calls us all to help, the poor and the needy and the widows. And so it wasn't really a matter of if we were being called. It was, how are you going to help? It was a community that we had been in for 6-7 years at that point. They were our family. And these are people we loved. And then at that point, we're looking at a 40% unplanned adolescent pregnancy rate between the ages of 10, starting at 10 years old and 19. So we rallied our troops in the U.S. And some of our closest friends over there in Kilgoris, and told them, what was breaking our heart and what was God was stirring us with. And Christine Lamiso is now our administrator there full time. And she had also a teen pregnancy that was unplanned. And it broke her heart as well. Always seeing these girls that she was in school with, or, her girls younger than her that she would meet on the streets, passing by and seeing them pregnant and kicked out of school and not knowing what to do. Her family supported her in her pregnancy. So she didn't end up with their story either. So we were able to hire her, and she's working with us now. And,
I want to point out, though, you weren't able to hire her. You just did. And you trusted, you seriously, really you just trusted that God would provide a way to pay her salary. Yeah. Because your family, you didn't even have a 501c3 at that point. Right. You literally were like, okay, Lord, we've got somebody willing to work. Let's hire her. Yeah. And then the Lord provided. Yeah. Yeah. And things kind of took shape and took off and have accelerated rapidly from there. So now you, I'm going to give a quick recap. I'm on the board of directors for Flourish, so I'm super passionate about this too, of kind of what's happened. And then I want to ask you another question. Yeah. So now we have these education programs that are going out into the different schools. We have a male facilitator that's been hired as well. We've got a ton of support on the Kenyan side and the U.S. side. And why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about why we decided to have you on for episode 1 of season 2 on Thanksgiving? What's happening now?
So this is also a lot of things happening this time of year. This is our 3rd year anniversary. Yep. Which is a huge accomplishment.
Awesome. We made it.
Most U.S.-based nonprofits don't make it to year 3. Fun fact.
Sobering facts.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was like, fun.
Yeah, I don't know about how fun it is, but we did make it, and so we've had our education program going for 3 years, going strong.
13 schools this year, right?
13 schools were
That's crazy.
that we're in, and so it's always been our goal and our dream to have also a safe house for teen moms who are unsafe at home, who are kicked out of home, who are facing early marriage, to come and, number one, for safety. Number two, continue in their education, learn how to be moms. Also the goal of that is to hopefully reunite with their families through counseling and social work and things like that when possible and when safe for them. And so our way to do that is a safe house. And right now, we are fundraising for the land for that. We have an amazing 2 acres of land that God has given us. It's a miracle piece of land.
Yeah.
We have a deposit on that land that we are raising money for the rest of this year.
How much do you need to raise to be able to finish out the purchase?
So right now we are
We're a bit a ways away. We've got a few months, but what's the total?
Yes, 20,000.
20,000. But then what's the extra special thing about the land?
So the thing about this land is there are trees that have been planted that the plan was to harvest those trees for profit. And we can also purchase those trees along with the land that can be harvested later in a couple years that we can then sell for the profit. So $20,000 for the initial purchase of the land, and then we'll need to negotiate another about $20,000 for the trees.
But we can sell the trees for, dun, dun, dun. I don't know.
You're the tree lady. We don't
hopefully,
even know. Yeah.
hopefully about $30,000 to $40,000, so we can recoup
Amazing.
the money, for the land to be able to put back into the safe house,
And we can also use those trees to build
the safe house.
the safe house.
It's pretty amazing.
Come on.
God is so good.
So good.
It's like this theme of abundance from season 1 is just carrying over already.
Yeah.
And I love it. I absolutely love
It's
it.
beautiful.
So Tuesday is Giving Tuesday, folks.
Yeah.
Tell people how they can give. Make it easy for them.
flourishkenya.org/donate.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter
At Flourish Kenya.
at Flourish Kenya. There's a link in our Instagram that you can click that will take you directly to our donate page.
Yeah.
You can text Flourish to 555-888 to do
555-888.
to do text to give.
Would you just text the amount you want to give?
It actually takes you directly to our donate page. It's a safer
Awesome.
way for you to give.
Perfect. Secure giving at
555-888.
love that. So easy, guys.
So easy.
Yeah. Krista, anything else you want to say to folks before we wrap up?
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, Jess has a question.
I do.
Curveball.
Because everything you've been talking about, like, it's so in a nice bow right now. You know, you make it sound so easy. Like, God gave us this vision or this for this thing, and now we're doing it. What are some of the struggles that you've had to go through?
I was going to bring that up in the outro if we didn't get there, but yes.
Yeah, like what does this look like on the day-to-day basis? And what are some things you've maybe had to release or had to struggle throughout all of this?
I would say everything. We stand every day on God is so good. And sometimes that is a minute to minute or an hour to hour. God is good. And we have a promise from him in this vision. And, some days are so hard, either with the challenges in Kenya or our challenges at home in our family life. And we've had struggles in in our marriage, in our family. You know, it's not easy to do this. And with little kids, especially.
So everything. No big deal.
Yeah. And I think it's so funny, and I joke sometimes, and I say, you know, God, I just wanted to help the girls. You know, like, especially in the beginning, I would get a little bit angry. And like, Lord, I don't care about social media. Like, I don't want to know how to do marketing. Like, you know, I didn't want to be a manager of other people. And all these things. Like, I don't want to be an accountant. And all these things I've had to take on and learn as a president of a very small nonprofit. And it's like, I don't want to worry about my finances in my house and the finances of this nonprofit. And so, I think I finally got over saying that to him, because he's just like, well,
guess what, pumpkin?
Yeah, this is what you said yes to. And it's realizing too that, like, I have a choice. You know, this is still a choice.
Yep.
That his love for us and his love for me is there regardless. Yeah. And he is good. But he has put this passion in me, and this passion in my family and those that are there with us for a reason. You know, and that passion is those youth in Kenya and these girls. Yeah. And it's so much, it'd be so much harder for us to say no and not do it. So we do go through the challenges.
But I've watched you allow him to strengthen you in the struggle. Yeah. Like, you guys have grown and gotten so much stronger as you've struggled. And like you said, like, you don't even complain to God about the other stuff anymore. Like, that's huge. Yeah. You know, you're not over here stomping your feet going, God, I don't want to.
Well, and thank you for being so real about that. And hearing you say, like, I just wanted to help the girls. Like, I also believe that you doing the marketing and administration and accounting, like, that is helping those girls.
Amen.
You know, there's so much to it. And so, like, I think that's valuable for people to hear who are doing nonprofit work, because it feels so mundane in the day-to-day basis. And it's like, I want to do the thing that I have the passion to do. But it's like all those steps, God is using that to do the work.
Yeah.
I totally think that's a word for somebody that's listening right now. Like, I really feel like there are people that will listen to this, that you are in a really difficult time in your process of the yes that you gave to the Lord. And what Krista just shared is profound for you, that it's going to be much harder for you to say no to the thing that he's asked you to say yes to. So we just pray for you that this word that Krista shared is speaking to you right now, and that you are able to be encouraged and be strengthened by the Holy Spirit in this moment, because it will come to fruition. Like, the thing that he's asked you to say yes to, it will come to fruition.
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's so good.
And as we kind of wrap up, this question might kind of put you on the spot, but is there a story of, like, empowerment or success with one of these girls that we can leave our listeners with as a glimpse of the importance of the work you're doing, just to challenge them to get on board, because it's so good?
Yeah, we do. So we also have a sponsorship program. We know that I'm sorry, I'm a stats girl sometimes. And I know some people get bored with that, but we know if we can keep a girl in secondary school and high school, that we can decrease her chances of getting pregnant or getting married by 60%. So we started a sponsorship program as our prevention of pregnancy. And we have a girl that we've known for a long time who is a teen mom. And because of that, she was being very taken advantage of in schools and having to leave multiple different schools. And so we were able to put her with one of our board members' families that is very supporting and loving with her. And there were other issues in her home as well, that she couldn't stay in her family home. But since she's been coming to our camps and staying with this family, and we were able to get her in a good, safe school. We were just in Kenya in August for our camp, and she is now a youth leader.
It's amazing.
She is so bright.
Yeah.
And it's incredible the change that we've seen in her the past couple of years.
She was literally holding her peer up spiritually and physically through another girl's struggle. She was the one to come in and hold her up through the struggle. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, this was a girl who a couple years ago was having to like run and hide from, literally from a predator. And now she's thriving in school and wants to be a doctor and doing great and like learning how to love her daughter and be a mom and balancing all of that. And I mean, it's incredible. And that's, that's what keeps us going is we've got this huge mountain in front of us with the statistics, but also that one girl, we've changed her life. God's used us to do that. And so, it's worth it.
Yep.
It's worth every bit of it, to get involved and, to see these girls. They're precious.
Yeah, for sure. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So good.
Thanks for having me. Good to have you on the show finally.
Yeah.
Thanks for just being so open with us about all of it. It really means a lot.
Krista is such an incredible woman, and I'm honored to call her my friend and to watch her flourish. But honestly, as she was talking, I'm like, wow, how amazing that her personal story is now coming to, and what God has done in her is now coming to life in a whole other, at a whole other level and dimension in a different country. She is investing in people like people invested in her when she was in a time of struggle and need. And I mean, just to see it full circle, that's so amazing. And just her heart to say yes and to stay the course, to not, in the midst of where she could have wavered and where she could have questioned and stopped, she didn't. And, I think sometimes we're not willing to sacrifice. We're not willing to go the extra hours and miles and all of it in order to see the thing that God has literally put before us and asked us to see to fruition. She was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And we're going to do it as a family, and there's going to be cost, but we're going to remain.
Yeah, and the whole time she was talking, I kept getting this, the word of redemption and the way that God has redeemed her story and is now using her story to transform the lives of women on the other side of the world. And I can only imagine that going through her teenage pregnancy, she would have never seen this coming.
Right.
And the struggle in that and the pain in that and everything she had to walk through. But now seeing that God is using every single piece that she thought was brokenness to bring something so beautiful in the lives of countless women. And then think about the generations that will be affected by these girls who are now raising babies in healthy homes. And now they're flourishing. It's just the ripple effect is going to reach into the generations.
Amen.
And even stepping into healthy marriages.
Yeah. Amen.
That's huge.
And
Come on.
we get to be a part of it with the Collected podcast.
Yes.
As our charitable partner being Flourish, I challenge you and welcome you into this.
Yes.
Like any amount you can give, with Giving Tuesday coming up, will make a difference.
Yes.
To build this safe house for these girls, like to get them out of these tough spots.
Yes.
I feel passionate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We, the dollar goes so much further in Kenya. And so we're excited to see what we can do collectively. As a podcast family, we're super excited to see what this can do to boost the efforts towards getting this safe house built. If you want to learn more about Flourish Kenya, please visit flourishkenya.org. You can donate. There's a donate button right there on the homepage. Or you can text 555-888. You can text the word flourish to 555-888 and give directly. It'll take you right to the website and you can give securely. We thank you guys so much for hearing our heart for Flourish and for listening to us talk about this effort that we're so passionate about. You guys probably remember that I had my own unplanned pregnancy, and so it's just so close to home for us here at Collected. So yeah, thanks guys. We hope you have an awesome rest of your day with your family.
Yes,
Yeah.
happy Thanksgiving.
Eat some pie for me.
And we are now back with season 2.
Yes,
so
that's
we will
right.
be back every week after this. So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at Collected Workshops.
That's right. And tell all your friends about us too. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Collected Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you like what you've heard, we'd love it if you would help spread the word. Check back here for weekly episodes dropping every Thursday. You can follow Collected on social media at Collected Workshops. The Collected Podcast is also on Patreon at patreon.com/thecollectedpodcast. That's Patreon. Become a patron for as little as $1 a month to gain access to bonus content, early bird ticket sales, exclusive contests, and more. You can also find Tia at Tia McNelly Notes, Jess at Spreza Foundry, and Michaela at the Creative Space NC. Collected proudly supports and partners with Flourish Kenya, a nonprofit working to prevent and support unplanned adolescent pregnancy in rural Kenya. Learn more at flourishkenya.org. The Collected Podcast is brought to you by the Gebhardt Schleep Group at Baird Financial, delivering personalized financial advice that helps clients reach their long-term goals. Visit gebhardtschleepgroup.com or see our show notes for links and to learn more. The Collected Podcast is recorded and edited by Jacob Early. Music is by Asaf Alan.